Smith, World on Fire on B105, Northland's number one for New Country. It's Ken and Lauren, and welcome to July 1st. Oh, man, that hurts almost.
I don't want to talk about it.
It's July 1st. I feel like we haven't had a summer yet, because it's we had a couple of hot days. Well, I don't know. It's just, Morgan Wallen and Ernest, Cowgirls on B105. It's Northland's number one for New Country. We got the B105 Buzz brought to you by East Central Energy, member-owned, homegrown, community-focused since 1936.
Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Ken, remember back in the day you went to UFO days. Was that in Elmwood?
Elmwood, Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's something similar coming up here. It's in Reamer.
Oh, yeah.
People were what?
No, you're talking about Bigfoot days, right?
Yeah.
In Reamer? I've never been to that one.
I'm like, I kind of want to go. Now, that's a busy weekend. I know, but it's a 2-day celebration, so it's Friday, July 5th. I got to see Miranda, so I won't be able to go that night. But July 6th also has a lot of events. There is a Bigfoot 5K. There's Bigfoot karaoke, which I need to know more about that. Bigfoot Olympics, Bigfoot bingo, a Bigfoot calling contest.
Ooh.
And, yeah, you can get all the details, the schedule, all that, b105country.com.
How do you do a Bigfoot call?
I don't know.
Isn't that kind of like a shriek? Like,
I don't know.
That? Well, we've had some audio in Twig of that Bigfoot that was up there, remember? Last year they captured some audio of
And last year, Bigfoot Days, you wrote about this, Ken. Somebody was hit by a rock and they think it was Bigfoot.
Yeah, because they were out on a hike. Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know. I
did my research.
Check it out, Reamer. What's going on? Okay, I'm going to mention this. Heads up, Duluth golf courses. I knew they were working on it, but I went golfing at Enger for the first time the other day, and it was in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
But holy cow, I didn't realize how much construction was actually happening and how much was on holes you were actually playing. Now, we got to have patience because it's going to be better when it's all done because they're doing an irrigation system and stuff that they desperately need after last year's.
Yeah.
But just a heads up, you want to see some photos of what's going on there? I got it up on the B105 app. You can see it right
You're kind
there.
of on like the beat with that.
Well,
golf and construction.
There was a couple holes we didn't play because I didn't want to hit somebody because they were there.
That's not good.
It was wild. But anyway, there you go. Heads up, and hopefully they'll get that all done. And they're even the DNR is redoing a creek there too. And the middle 9 was completely closed.
Oh my gosh,
lots happening.
You got to get your golf in, or you're going to be sad.
It's been so rainy, it just hasn't been happening. But well, we'll see. There's another month here to go. A couple. That's B105 Buzz. Tyler Hubbard up next. Bill and Scott, My Girl on B105, the Northland's number one for New Country. And let's do it, Lauren's Country Lowdown.
We have lots to get to. So, Jelly Roll, he is very busy. It's crazy to think. He just released his debut album in June of last year, I think it was. It was 2023. And he just dropped hints about his next album. He was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Martin Short was guest hosting. Asked him about new music. Jelly Roll said, I'm not supposed to say anything. But then he said, Jelly Roll's music favors the fall. So obviously he has a new album coming out. He's already released new music. His current song, I'm Not Okay. But he debuted a different song on Jimmy Kimmel Live called Burning. So you can watch that, b105country.com. See the interview, all of that. But you just have to love, even if you don't love Jelly Roll, because, he has haters, he just radiates positivity.
I don't know if you can have haters. Come on.
And he's just still so excited about everything, even though he's a big star, So
I don't think he feels like he's a big star, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just a very humble person.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Kelsey Ballerini, she's also working on a new album. She says it's done completely, but she released a new song Friday with Noah Kahan. It's called Cowboys Cry Too. We talked about it Friday, but she also spilled a little more tea about her next album. So she says that this is the only collaboration on the album. She wrote it on her back porch late last year, and it's kind of a song about, debunking the myths about men, how, they don't always have to be tough. They can be soft inside, too.
Cowboys cry, too. Huh?
Yeah. So she said after writing it, she realized that she wanted a male perspective, and she had met Noah Kahan at the Grammys, and she said that she texted him, slid into his DMs, and was like, I would love for you to be part of the song. There's no pressure. And he wrote his part and sent it over. So, yeah, and then also he's an original fan of Kelsey, because when they met, he mentioned one of her very first songs ever. So
he's legit.
Yeah, so you can hear Kelsey's full interview with Evan Paul of Taste of Country Nights on b105country.com. And then Midland, they're dropping a new album called...
Yeah, where they been?
I know, Barely Blue. It comes out September 20th, the same day as Keith Urban's new album. And they released a song from that called Lucky Sometimes. They're also going to be at Mystic Lake Casino later this year. And you can get details on that with our concert calendar B105country.com, but they kind of dropped off, which is sad because...
Well, they had the album, and then I remember the Drinking Problem one, whatever
so good.
it was. Yeah. That was my jam for a summer.
That song did come out at like the best time.
Yeah.
But
yeah, funny.
Not saying that means anything.
Okay, moving on.
Yep, okay, great. So there you go, Lauren's Country Lowdown.
Chris Young, Young Love, and Saturday Night on B105, Northland's number one for New Country. It's Ken and Lauren. And we've got 710 Laugh Off, a fresh week. Lauren won last week. Congratulations.
I know. Did I win? I got to update the sheet.
You did.
You know, I really spent a lot of time that morning trying to find the perfect joke.
Yeah, you really did.
Yes.
And you did. Great job. Well, anyway, not going to happen this week. We have a short week, too, because of the holiday weekend. So.
I know. I do have a confession quick. So my joke on Friday was about splunking, cave diving. I had to look up what that word meant.
Hey, and then you were like, I don't know if you're going to get this.
But the reason I said that is because I didn't really know what that was either. So that's why I looked it up.
I knew what it was.
But then you thought I was calling you dumb, and it's like, I just had never heard of that word before.
I know splunking's all
But
about.
also, like, do people splunk around here? Like, why would I know about that? Oh.
People splunking all the time.
Not going to be me. But I'll watch from the ground.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll learn about, who knows what we'll learn about today. Coming up at 710 Laugh.
Time now is 7:20 on the Breakfast Club with Ken and Lauren. It is definitely a Monday because I was reading over something that I wanted to talk about, and then I'm like, it's 7:20. We got to do the brain teaser question. So we'll just get right to it. And thankfully I didn't forget. So 28% of men have one of these, but they barely use it. What is it? So it's an article of clothing. Maybe it's a few articles of clothing. And we have Ben from Mainstream in every Thursday talking about it. And, yeah, you kind of... Some people have to have this for work, and so, you know, they might actually use it in that case. But otherwise, a lot of men, like the men in my life, they have this, but it just sits in the closet. So what do you think it is? 727-B105. Time now is 7:24 on the Breakfast Club on B105. We have your brain teaser question, which I almost forgot about. It is definitely a Monday. I'm going to chug this iced coffee in a second. So 28% of men have one of these, but they barely use it. What is it? I think it's easy. I gave a lot of hints, so let's go to the phone. B105, what do you think?
Is it a suit?
It is a suit. I always think men look so handsome in suits, but I guess you got to have a reason to wear one, right?
Yes.
Who's this?
Kelsey.
Kelsey, congratulations. You have Papa Murphy's. Can you hang on a second?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. 28% of men have a suit, but they barely use it. Like I said, some people have to wear a suit to work every single day, but if you don't, probably just collects dust in your closet. So there you go. We'll do it tomorrow, same time, same place, 7:20. Time now is 7:48 on the Breakfast Club with Ken and Lauren. So we've been talking about Keith Urban a lot this morning because on Friday he caused absolute chaos in the B105 studio, chaos just across Minnesota because he announced a special pop-up show in a very small venue for it last night. Like it happened last night. Not part of a tour or anything like that. But we're going to talk to a B105 listener who was there coming up at about 8:20. But he's just having a really good time because he also announced that he has a new album coming out in September. And also he's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So he and George Strait have been named members of the Walk of Fame class for 2025. They are part of a class that features 34 other celebrities from movies, television, theater, radio, sports. Of course, they fall into the recording category, and I don't need to go over all of their accomplishments because they speak for themselves. But, you know, the Keith Urban-Nicole Kidman marriage, it's like, it's a little too much talent because Nicole Kidman obviously has hers. She got her star back in 2003. And, you know, George Strait, he could be in the movie category as well because he was in a movie in 1992 called Pure Country, and he also voiced a role in King of the Hill back in 2003. So just kind of fun. We don't know when they're getting the star or anything like that, but I think I remember reading that they have to pay for their own star. It's like $40,000 or something, which is probably nothing to them, but I feel like they should get it for free. But nonetheless, I will stay on that beat, and you can read more at B105country.com. So Michael Ray, he might be dating a famous reality star. If you watched The Hills back in the day, like me and all the spinoffs, you know, Audrina Patridge, she posted a photo of herself kissing Michael Ray. She jumped up, she kissed him, she posted a photo, and she said, "This one," it's very obvious, it's him. They're obviously dating, because I don't think you post a picture like that if you're not. They have not said anything. People magazine reached out to both of their reps, Michael Ray's and Audrina's, and they didn't get an answer back, but I wish them the best. I want everyone to find love, so maybe we'll hear some love songs from Michael Ray, but we'll have to stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's some juicy gossip this morning. And then Carly Pierce, she was asked about what she thinks of Post Malone going country. I can't lie, Post Malone has totally, like, at first I was like, okay, that's cool, he's going country, but I love every song that he's put out so far, so I'm very excited about this. But she was just doing an interview with Evan Paul of Taste of Country Nights. She was asked, what do you think of Post Malone going country? She says, I love it. I think he's doing it in such a cool way, in such a way that feels very much like the whole country community is rallying around him. So hopefully he stays in country music for a while, though, and he doesn't, go to pop or whatever. But read more about that, B105country.com. In the meantime, new Lainey Wilson at 7:51 with Hang Tight, Honey on B105. Shabuzi, a bar song. It's 8:13 on the Breakfast Club with Ken and Lauren. In just a few minutes, we're going to talk to a B105 listener, Missy, who went to Keith Urban's show last night at the Fine Line. She also got to meet him, so we're going to get all the tea on that. But first, I need boots on the ground. I need somebody who knows to let me know the answer, please. So, I love Halloween. Spirit Halloween is supposed to open at the Miller Hill Mall today. I went on the website. Yes, I'm kind of a weirdo, and it says it's open. And I need to go today if it is open. So if you know the answer to that, maybe you work at the mall, maybe you're listening to us at the mall, whatever it might be, please let me know. You can shoot us a message on Facebook or call me up 727-B105. But my coworker and I, we're trying to go as soon as possible. This is one of my favorite parts of the year is when Spirit Halloween opens. So I know it's only July, never too early though. So if you know that answer and you could let me know, greatly appreciated. 727-B105. Time now is 8:13 on B105. Luke Bryan, Country Girls, Shake It For Me on B105. It's the Breakfast Club with Ken and Lauren. And as promised, we have Missy on the line, B105 listener. And she's also a big Keith Urban fan, So she was lucky enough to get tickets to go to Keith Urban's show at the Fine Line. So we have Missy on the line. First, let's talk about these tickets, because I posted the article, I don't know, about 8:30, and then by 9:05, people were commenting on it saying that, it was sold out and everything like that. So how stressful was this ticket process, just even getting tickets to this show?
Yeah, it was extremely stressful. I said it was the most stressful 7 minutes of my life.
How was the show? Because, Keith usually plays these big arena shows, which is part of the reason why this was so popular. How was it seeing him in such a small setting?
It was really cool because it was very different from his typical shows. You could tell it was unscripted. There was no real set. You could tell they had a plan, but it was a very loose plan. He was taking requests from the audience and just playing random things. Like in the middle of a song, he went into Eye of the Tiger, and then he played some Stevie Nicks, and it just kept changing, and he just kept rolling with it. I don't know how he does that.
Yeah, and if anybody would know about his set list, it's you, because you are notoriously, Keith Urban, one of his biggest fans for sure. So, last question. So you actually got to meet Keith Urban, but it was just a very lucky kind of run-in. So tell us what happened. I saw the video, but for everybody listening.
We were waiting in line outside to get into the venue, and right when we got to the venue, I said, these are his buses. We were right next to his buses. And then because it was such a small venue, we were at this gated alley area, and every time they opened the door, you could hear them playing inside. So we knew he was in there, and that's just where we happened to be standing. And his band members had come out, and then in a few minutes, he came out. I saw Randy, his security guard, first, and then I knew he was going to be right behind him. And yeah, I know his security guard's name.
I'm obsessed with the fact that you just name dropped his security guard. I love that. So what would you rate the show out of 10?
Oh gosh, they're all a 10. It was so good. It was a lot of fun. He just was having a great time with the crowd.
Yeah, that was really cool that he did that. Well, I'm going to put you down as our Keith Urban reporter, boots on the ground.
All right.
Anytime we need some Keith Urban information or anything like that, because yeah, you got it covered. So happy for you. So happy you got to go and meet Keith, and we'll talk to you after the next Keith Urban concert.
Sounds good.
Time now is 8:43 on the Breakfast Club with Ken and Lauren. So there's a lot of jerks out there. That's just the truth. So this happened in Santa Rosa, California, I believe. So, I love Halloween. In fact, I was just asking if anybody knew if Spirit Halloween was open yet. Still haven't heard about that. So if you know, shoot me a message. But this is something that I think is scary, and I don't condone it, even though I love Halloween. So a man was pulled over. He was wearing a Jason mask, which obviously, made police do a double take. So this happened Saturday around 10 p.m. The Santa Rosa Special Enforcement Team noticed a gold Toyota Camry with no headlights or taillights near an intersection. So obviously they were going to pull this person over. Well, then they noticed that the driver was wearing a Jason mask, which I don't think that allows you to see everything around you, first of all. And also that's very scary, especially at 10 o'clock at night. So he was pulled over. They noticed that he had a rifle in the front seat that was unregistered. So obviously that was an issue as well. But don't go around your town, obviously, doing any of these things, but especially wearing just a Jason mask. That's going to scare people. That's going to cause an accident. The driver was identified as a 27-year-old resident named Adonai Ephraim, and he was booked for possession of an assault weapon. But apparently he was sweating profusely, probably because he was wearing this mask, and obviously he was up to no good. But yeah, I just don't wear a Jason mask. It's like when there was that clown, I don't even want to talk about this, but that clown craze a few years ago. That's just, you're going to cause an accident. Someone's going to get hurt. So there you go. There's some jerk. Time now is 8:51 on the Breakfast Club with Ken and Lauren. Today, Mother Nature could actually be our angel. Partly sunny, breezy with a high of 73. However, we will see rain later on today and tomorrow and into the holiday weekend. So more on that on our B105 app. But I wanted to share this story because our last story was a jerk from California who was pulled over wearing a Jason mask. And our angel today is an angel from California, actually a member of the California Highway Patrol. So there's actually a bunch of different angels here, but there was a little baby kitten and it somehow got onto a highway. And we don't know how it got there or anything. But obviously that's not going to end well because it's a very small little kitten. Cars are driving fast. So this officer, his name is Officer Moore, he responded to the call. It ended up taking a bunch of people to save this cat. He was chasing the cat, trying to rescue it. It would, sprint off. It ended up in a traffic stop. So they stopped all traffic. One of the officers found that the cat had been in an engine, and this car then pulled over. They were able to rescue it, all that. So lots of angels involved, but this Officer Moore, he dropped the cat off at the local animal rescue and everything like that and saved it, and it was his idea to do the traffic stop. Of course, he responded to the call, but then a few weeks later, he couldn't stop thinking about the kitten who was named Chippy, and so he went back with his family and adopted the little kitten, and it's really, really cute. So cute. All kittens are cute, but Chippy's very cute. So I just thought that was a cute little story, and it's a nice balance to the story that I had just a few minutes ago. Miranda Lambert on the B105 Workday Kickoff. I hope you have a great Monday.